Environmental impacts and controls. In this lesson, we're going to look at different ways that our computers affect the environment, as well as how to protect our computers from the environment. So let's get started. It's estimated that more than 25% of all lead in landfills today comes from consumer electronics. These electronics include televisions, DVRs, computers, printers, monitors. All of those contain hazardous materials, mercury, lead, plastics, and things that should be disposed of properly. But on the other side of this, the environment is also hazardous to our computers. Temperature, humidity, air quality, and water all have devastating effects on our computer's performance. But of course, computers require electricity. Too much or too little can be a problem. So let's look at different ways where the environment affects the computers and the computers can affect the environment. Material safety data sheets. This is probably one of the first places that you just look for as far as proper ways to protect the environment around our computers. Now, in addition to your product manuals, another place to find the safety information is the material safety data sheets or the MSDSs. These include information such as the physical product data, the boiling point, the melting point, flash point, and so forth, or potential health risks, storage and disposal recommendations, spill and leak procedures for certain materials and products around our environment or in our work areas. With this information, technicians and emergency personnel can know how to handle the product as well as respond to an event, an emergency. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, mandates MSDSs only for the following type of products. Products that meet OSHA's definition of hazardous, they pose a physical or health hazard, or products that are known to present in the workplace in such a manner that employees may be exposed under normal conditions or in a foreseeable emergency. Now, if employees are working with the materials that have MSDSs, those employees are required by OSHA to have ready access to MSDS sheets. You're going to come across a lot of materials that needs proper disposal. You won't be able to take these materials and just throw them in the garbage. They need to have a proper disposal. And these are some of those materials. Batteries, proper battery disposal. Batteries contain heavy metals and toxic ingredients, including alkaline, mercury, lead, nickel, cadmium, and nickel metal hydride, and a host of other materials. These should be recycled properly. There's a lot of different recycling um, areas in your environment or in your area that you can take your batteries to to do a proper recycling. Toner cartridges is another item. Toner cartridges should be recycled. They contain a carcinogen, and the cartridges can contain heavy metals that are hard and bad for the environment. A lot of different places recycle toner. Some of the big box computer stores will recycle your toner cartridges. Proper disposal of other devices and assets. Monitor and displays, they contain high amounts of lead. This is dangerous to humans, so to contact a professional recycler as well. Mobile devices should be recycled responsibly. Properly dispose of off solvents, and these are your cleaners that you use to clean your computer devices. Check with the manufacturer when you come to equipment. Some take back the outdated equipment, some do them as a buyback or an upgrade, um, a buyback toward an upgrade to a newer device. Disassemble the machine and reuse parts that can be reused. And also check with the EPA, the www.msds.com to see if your product has an MSDS sheet. Managing the environment. Sometimes your computers are going to be located in an environment that's out of our control. Systems that are in normally harsh environments, such as warehouses and factories, are going to face environmental challenges. Even though these environments are less than ideal, the technician should know how to prepare an environment for computers and know what to look for in line of the tolerances for our computers. As first of all, the location or the equipment placement. We do want to keep our equipment away from dirt, liquids, dust, heat, and humidity, but sometimes that's out of our control. If it has to be placed in an environment like that out on a factory floor, see if there is an enclosure that can be placed around that equipment. Sometimes when you're working with an organization or a company and you can explain the environmental concerns, they will invest more to protect that needed computer to run that machinery. Ventilation. Computers need a lot of moving air. So you want to make sure that you're in a well ventilated area to operate a computer. Desk cleanup. The cleanliness of our computer is very important. And if a buildup of dirt and debris get inside of our computers, they won't function. Sometimes they will overheat. It will cause other disastrous effects. Keep it cleaned with compressed air. Use a vacuum. This should be part of a normal maintenance routine to protect the inside components of our computer. Here are some tools and the purposes that you'll find as a technician. A computer vacuum, sucking up dust and small particles, mild soap and water, of course, cleaning the external of the case, not the inside, but the external case. Demineralized water, cleaning keyboards and other devices that have contact points. Denatured isopropyl alcohol, cleaning metal contacts such as those on expansion cards. Monitor wipes, cleaning monitor screens. Don't use a window cleaner. A lint-free cloth is great to have because it can wipe down anything. Don't use a cloth that will leave lint. Compressed air, very good for blowing out small places inside of the computer cases and other equipment in those hard to reach areas. Managing power in the environment. Sometimes when you're in an environment, you're going to have fluctuating power. Now, all of our electronics need power to operate. Laptops and mobile devices can go only for a short time before they need to get their batteries recharged. Now, that power that is supplied to our equipment must be stable without having too much surges or too little sags or none at all. That's blackouts. Power is not just on and off. There are other anomalies that can damage your equipment. Sags are voltage drops below the nominal range by half to 3 seconds. Brownouts, those are line voltage drops below nominal range by more than 3 seconds. Spikes, voltage increases over nominal range that lasts between 1 and 2 nanoseconds. Surges, voltage increase over nominal range that lasts over 3 nanoseconds. Now, equipment that assist in protecting our devices from these anomalies are battery backups. Basically, a battery backup or an uninterrupted power supply or UPS is designed to protect and supply power during outages and sags in power. Sometimes there's host software that can be loaded onto your computer that does what's called a proper shutdown in the event of a blackout. Basically, it will retain the computer on in the on state and it will operate. But as the battery begins to die out on that and the main power is not up, the software would do what's called a proper or soft outage, a power down. It will power down the system without being harsh or abrupt. Suppressor. This protects devices from power surges. If there's a surge, the power strip or the surge suppressor will take the surge or take the brunt of that so it won't damage your equipment. Okay, we covered a lot of different areas about your environment as well as com- protecting our computer in the environment, as well as this proper disposal of our components in the environment. We talked about the MSDSs, the material safety data sheets, temperature, humidity, level awareness, and proper ventilation. Also, power surges and under voltage events and power failures. I want to thank you for joining with me for this lesson, and I will see you in the next lesson.